Hi, I'm registered dietitian Andrea Holwegner. And I don't know about you, but finding recipes the whole family really enjoys from a taste perspective, as well as something that takes only a few minutes to make, is a huge win. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a simple vegetable frittata recipe you can use and make at any time of the day. I'm also going to be sharing a few tips about the nutritional benefits of eggs and how they can fit into a healthy diet for people with diabetes. Here are the ingredients we are going to need for a frittata that serves 4 people. 8 eggs, half a cup of milk or water, 2 cups chopped vegetables, half a cup of shredded cheese, pepper and salt to taste, and if you like, some fresh or dried herbs to taste, but that's really very optional. That's it, it's that simple. So to begin, let's head on over to my oven, and you're gonna put your oven on to broil. In a glass bowl, we're literally just gonna crack our 8 eggs and whisk them together with a half a cup of milk. You know, many of the Italian nonnas and chefs of the world would say, when you're making a frittata, there's no real need to go too crazy on the whipping of the eggs. In fact, they recommend just keeping them nice and light as we go here. And that keeps the texture of our frittata extra fluffy. Okay, last egg here. We can just give it just a nice little quick whisking together. Make that all nice. Again, keeping it nice and light like that. Add your half a cup of milk and then a little bit of salt and pepper. I always just start with a little because, you know, you can always add a little more on the top, each person individually. And then if you're adding some fresh herbs, parsley is what I've got here. You can put that in. This is totally optional, so you know, you can also use a dried herb as well. You might be wondering, what is so good about eggs? And eggs are, of course, very famous for being very high sources of protein. 2 large eggs has about 13 grams of protein in them. And protein is, of course, important for maintaining a healthy immune system and helping to build and repair our muscle tissue. Protein is also very important for people with diabetes. And so foods like eggs can really help to stabilize our blood sugar control and also to help manage just better overall blood glucose control in general. And so outside of protein, eggs are, of course, very low in carbohydrates and good sources of vitamin A, D, E, and also iron and zinc. In this frittata, we're gonna be using 2 cups of vegetables. I'm going to use some red peppers today, some spinach, some green onions, but of course, you can feel free to use whatever you've got on hand here. I'm just chopping your green onions nice and loosely here. I'm just going to slice up these red peppers. You could keep them in long strips if you like, or you can dice them up nice and fine. So you're just going to pop over, turn on your burner to medium heat. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna oil up our pan and saute our red peppers and our green onions or whatever veggies that might need a little love in the pan. Oh yeah, listen to that. I personally have always loved the smell of sauteing onions in general. It starts to make every dish come alive. Okay, and once things are a little bit softer, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our spinach into here. And I always like to add the spinach a little bit later so it doesn't get overcooked. And we're just gonna keep stirring and just let that spinach wilt into there a little bit further. Look at all that color. Good nutrition is always about adding color into your food. This is looking good. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna start to add in that egg mixture now. We're just gonna pour it right in. And what we're gonna do in making a frittata is we're just gonna see that the edge is gonna start to create a nice little sort of crust around the edge. And we're just gonna start to lift up the edges and just get some of that undercooked egg to flow right underneath. And we're gonna cook this frittata here until the bottom is set and the top is almost set. Okay, so once that top is almost cooked, you can start to see, if you give it a little bit of a jiggle, you'll start to see that just the topping is almost cooked there. This is a pretty good time for us to grab that cheese that you've prepared. Again, I'm gonna be using a half a cup of cheddar today, and just put a little sprinkle right on top there. So now we're just gonna pop it right into the oven. We've got our oven ready on broil. Be sure to watch your hot pan here. And of course, using an oven-safe pan is gonna be key. Let's just take a quick peek as to how things are looking. Oh, look at that, it is ready. How do we know our frittata is ready? You give it a little shake, nothing's rolling around anymore, and look at that. Boy, it smells good. Let's taste the frittata. So here we go. I'm gonna take a nice little bite here along the edge and see what it tastes like. Thank you so much for joining me. And for more great recipes for eggs, cooking tips, nutrition information, you can head over to eggs.ca.